च यत्रैव पशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभू कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दसाम्बरे वनो सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ॐ वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्धृतं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। We are in 39th chapter of first half of Nirvana Prakaran in Yoga Vasishtha. We have been discussing all through since long about the process of worship. Worshipping means, in real sense, meditating on the deity, and the deity is the supreme truth. The truth has to be meditated upon in all conditions, in every situation, at all time, and that is called real worship or meditation, or it is the last goal. So on this basis, today we shall see what is the goal. What is the goal? Suppose for a traveler there will be some goal to reach some point. For every doer, whatever he does, he should have a purpose. Without purpose there is nothing. No action can be done without purpose. And if you see it from subtle point of view, analytically, the purpose is goal itself, to achieve the goal. To achieve the target, that is the purpose. Can you deny it?
No.
Purpose is to achieve something. And that goal, according to time, situation and conditions, it may change. But finally it comes to one only, one point. Finally, everybody has one purpose only. That yesterday we were discussing. Everybody has to go back to the source. Source means home. Yesterday we were discussing, home is your last target. Though in between, in the process, you have different goals, yet finally you have to come back to the point where you have started. That is the final goal. Nobody can challenge this truth. Everybody has to come back to the source. That is the final goal. But in between we may see some differences. In between we may see many differences, many different goals, timingly or periodically or according to the conditions, situations around you. You may have different goals. Finally, one goal everybody has, that is the purpose of life, to come back to the source. So, this source, where is it, how is it, how to achieve it? If you want to come back to your source, is it difficult for anyone? I think by no means it will be difficult, because you have started from there. When you have come from England all the way to India, and you have reached now Ganeshpur, Uttarkasi, Sivananda Ashram. In between you have reached so many different places. You might have stayed there for some period. That will be the periodical or conditional goal. You might have stayed at Delhi for some time, or in some other cities for some time, and finally you have come here. This is not final. This is not the last target. You had finally you have to go back again to England. That will be the last achievement. And when you have started from England to come here, so long a distance, will you feel any difficulty to go back to England? Is there any difficulty? Do you want to ask, how can I get back? Do you ask anybody? That is all along with you, internally, continuously.
Yes.
You know you have to go back home. So, as per my view, there is no difficulty for anyone. There is no difficulty to go back home. And by the way, we may ask many people from one place to go to the other place. We don't know all these. This is also your knowledge, but it is relative knowledge. relative knowledge, periodical knowledge, which is subject to change. But internally you know everything. How to go back? Sometimes if you have drunk or due to some other causes you have forgotten your home, then of course some person has to come to remind you, my dear, you have come from England. Now you have taken overdose wine. When you get all right, you will remember your home. That may be in between, that may be possible in between. You may forget for small time, little time, but finally you cannot forget your home. Nobody can. So this is how the ultimate goal for every being is to go back to the source, which is the absolute truth. And in between we have forgotten it because of time, situations, conditions. And when you came to Uttarakashi, you were searching so many places, going to many places and staying somewhere for some days. And then you have come to Uttarakashi, Sivananda Ashram, Ganeshpur. Now you may have some other ideas to go to Gangotri or somewhere. But finally, one day or other, you are bound to go back to England. That is the original source of everyone. So the truth is the aim and object and target and purpose of life of every being. Every being. And that truth, how it will be? So, should there be any explanations? Do you need any explanations of your sweet home at England? But what to do? I have forgotten my home. Every now and then my friends come and give me a sip of brandy or rum, whiskey. If one drug is gone down, the other comes. In this way, we have come to this foreign land which is called world. World, creation. Creation is nothing but a process. You have left your home, the original source of everyone, and in between you have forgotten it, being overpowered by situations, conditions, time, and changing phenomena. This is called world creation or the supreme power. Power is changing phenomena, and every moment you find something else, and thereby your goals are changing also every day, everything, every moment. You wanted to eat something, there was some purpose to appease your hunger. When that is done, then you have to go somewhere. You have to go to your office or to your friend's house. That was the timingly goal. And when you come back from your office for your temporary home back, then again another goal will be there. Let me go to bazaar to purchase something. Again you will come back to your temporary home. We have temporary homes also, which changes. And in this way, due to changes, continuous changing phenomena, this changing process, which is otherwise called nature or the supreme power or misunderstanding. Why it is misunderstanding? Because of forgetfulness of the original home. This is called misunderstanding. Or else, for the time being, there is no misunderstanding. This is how our relative knowledge concerned with changing phenomena, worldly knowledge, which changes every now and then, and underneath flows the continuous current, the flow. Your source is somewhere else. That is unknowingly known to you. Unknowingly known to you. Unawareingly you are aware of it. Unawareingly means for the time being you have forgotten it. You are not aware of it. But underneath that undercurrent is continuous. Now this truth, it is forgotten because of continuous changes. And these changes give you different names and forms. Give you means you are associated with different names and forms by the help of your intellect, mind and senses and the prana and all these your temporary friends, they are around you. They are always taking from one place to the other place. That means different objects, different names, different forms, you are being associated by all these friends, your senses, your eyes, ears and other senses by the help of mind and intellect, and all through the false ego also is working out. That ego is something which is ever changing. Ever changing. Why it changes? Because of association, temporary association with different names and forms according to time, situation and place. This is how ego also one of your cheating friend, cheater. And all these other friends also, they are cheaters. They cheat you every moment. Mind is a changing process of thoughts, senses, they are directed by thoughts and they are some working system who acquires some temporary knowledge. Knowledge means some informations on the forms and names you are associated with. Every moment it changes. In this way, all these your so-called cheaters and friends, they are called friends, they are your helping hands. In this way, we are duped, we have been cheated. That means we have forgotten our own source, our home. Who brought you from Gangori to Ganeshpur? You had some friends, they told you there is some ashram in Ganeshpur, you can go there and stay for some time. Those friends are cheaters. They helped you to forget England. So can you not tell them the cheating friends? Though you, for the time being, you accept them as good, close friends, they have helped you to come from Gangori to Uttarakasi, Ganeshpur. On the other hand, they have helped you negatively, that is, forgetting your England own home. Now, how these changes go on? The objects we are associated with, they also are always changing. The forms change, the names change, but the awareness of all these is continuously within it. It is present everywhere in all conditions and in all situations. The awareness, that is awareness of existence. The object you see, it has some existence. But that existence in the form of form, in the term of form, it changes. Formed means it has taken a shape by some limited lines, some demarcating lines. So that is called forms. And then it will have a name. How does this name comes? You see, basically all these changes started from the vibratory process, which is called the power, supreme power. The first vibration is named as sound. The same sound changes into different other vibrations. They are, say, sound, light, electricity, magnet, so many other names of the energy. Every energy is nothing but basically some waves, some vibrations. And it started in the beginning where there was absolute balance state. On that some waves of vibrations are seen. It is so minute very hard to go to this very starting point. So different ways we have named it differently from different angles of vision, different seers, investigators or research students, they have seen it from different angles and named it differently. We call it supreme power or misunderstanding or ignorance or Maya, illusory power. Because of continuous changes, it creates confusion. And we forget the source where from it started. It goes on so fast, and that itself is known as mind. Who will know who will go to the source? The same vibration they want to merge in the source. Anywhere, in every condition, by all means it can calm down, and that calmness is meeting the source. That calmness, that steadiness, vibration means wave. When wave becomes one with the balanced state, that is going to the source. It need not go where from it started. Started means you have to understand started from balanced state. And that balanced state is always everywhere present where it is imbalanced. Say for example, if there is some wave in the water surface, water is everywhere present. So when that wave subsides, it calms down, there is water. Everywhere there is water. So it need not, it not necessarily should go from that center of the surfacial water where from it started. There is no need. Understood? Say we throw a stone in the surface water of a lake. The lake was quite calm and balanced. When we put a pebble, throw into it, where that pebble touches the surface of water, therefrom all the waves start. Can you say that is the real central point where from all these waves start? No. Anywhere it can be over the water. That is not the particular center where from all these waves start. For the time being, that may be the source, that may be the center. But anywhere that center is available. Why? Because balanced state is there. Anywhere it can be imbalanced. Understood now? So the centers are ever present everywhere. That means if you want to go back your home is everywhere present. That is the central point, source. Understood now? Relatively, what do we mean by home? Where this body has taken birth, my homeland. Homeland. That means also, from there you have started your life. What is life? A journey. Journey of what? Changing phenomena. So, in the terms of waves, that is the central point where from the waves started. But those waves are always on the base of water, isn't it? So water is ever present everywhere, in all conditions. So your center anywhere you can find. There is no means not necessarily you have to go to a particular place to find out the center. Now, this awareness is all pervading. You are aware of your being. I am aware of my being. The tree is aware of its being. That awareness is all pervading, ever present in all conditions. That is like water surface. And from every point, anywhere, it can start vibrating. That will be periodically or for the time being, that will be taken as homeland for the person who started from there, home. In this sense, home is everywhere. Means your starting point is everywhere. On a paper, anywhere you can take a point and draw a circle. Anywhere. The center is present everywhere on the paper. Now coming to our source, that is the awareness. That awareness is aware of the existence. I do exist. The wave also knows it does exist. And the water also knows the waves are nothing but myself. And waves unknowingly knows that I am the water, but they forget because of forms or changing process, they forget that they are water. Those changes may be in the form of waves, ripples, or big tides, or bubbles, or whirlpools, or water current. It may be any form, but it is all through aware of its water source. Everybody knows that I am water. Forgettingly remember that I am water. This awareness of existence is ever present everywhere. And one is quite satisfied with it. That is known as bliss, contentment, full contentment. I cannot be absent. That is called the eternal presence. That awareness of existence, awareness of knowledge that I know, awareness of awareness. I I do exist, and I am quite contented with my existence. In no condition I can lose my existence. That is called, that understanding, that feeling is known as bliss. It is not happiness, because it is ever present there. Happiness may change into unhappiness, but bliss never changes. It is continuous and ever eternal contentment. That is the source of everything. That is called truth. And then what is called untruth? All these changing phenomena, from starting itself, nobody knows where from it started. Did it start really, or apparently it started? That is also it is not expressible, because anywhere anything can happen. Over the water surface, anywhere anything can happen. Means the bubbles or the waves or the current or the whirlpool, different forms of water may occur anywhere, anytime, in any condition. They are not conditional. So in this way, the changing phenomena is not at all there. That's why it is not conditional. It is unconditional. And because of changing, we are confused. Say, for example, how we are confused. I give the example of two fast trains are crossing against each other in a platform, railway platform, and both are passenger trains. People are sitting inside, and two friends are sitting in different two trains crossing against each other on the platform in fast speed. Can they recognize each other? If they say, see each other from the window, through the window, can they recognize? Yes, somebody was like, they are like my friend. Maybe he is my friend. That will be suspicious. That in no condition it can be clear, because of both the trains crossing each other in a high speed. So two persons, they cannot recognize each other. In this way, this whole world is changing. Not from one side, from both sides. The seer and seen, both are changing. The seer and the seen, both are changing. You should not take one as a changing object. Both are changing. And the process also is changing. The speed. The seer is in one train, the seen is in other train, and speed is the process of changing. All the three are changing in fast speed. So how can there be any clarity? This is how, though the truth is there, the seer, seen and seeing, all the triads are there visible, it is confusing. This is called misunderstanding or ignorance or confusion, illusion. Name it as you like, so many words we use for it. This is how this world is seen by us. The sheer mind or intellect or ego or the senses, they are changing every moment. And the objects outside and inside, they are also changing every moment. So how can you understand what is what? This is called illusion, Maya. This is the effect of the cause, this changing phenomena, energy, or the supreme power which changes. Changing is known as power. And basically changing means imbalanced state. It is not balanced state. Change means imbalance. It is not stable.
Also growth.
When it changes, that is known as growth.
Because
That is known as progress. And we have named it as evolution process,
yes,
the journey of life.
yes,
What not?
what not?
We should understand it from the
So basement.
basement.
Yes.
Now, if this is the situation, we have to meet our original home, that is ever steadiness. Did you follow from this analysis?
Yes.
Where is your home?
Yes.
Your home is balanced state. That is the state of meditation or samadhi or no mindness or no business of mind, that is according to yogic language, chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta vritti nirodha. Stoppage of all the functioning of mind process. That is called balanced state. And that is not conditioned to time, space and situations. It is not conditioned. It is unconditional. हाँ जी. Now, this is the real goal, eternal goal, underlying goal, and that is also the purpose of every changing being, whether he is human being or inanimate beings or the elements, 5 elements which constitute this changing phenomena, names and forms in this way. Now, let us stop here this process of analysis. Let us go to sound process. The whole phenomena starts from the starting point of vibrations or waves. That first wave is known as sound. We named it. Name it as you like. Whether it is fast or in between or last, there is no meaning of it. Because I told you, everywhere there is a center. Where from it starts, nobody knows. How did it start, nobody knows. It is just imaginary and it is momentary. The moment knowledge dawns, knowledge means that balanced state dawns, there is no imbalanced state, so there is no question. In this way, if you come to sound, that vibratory sound waves, which is known as sound, it goes on multiplying and taking different names and forms and means different frequencies of waves. And they go on changing continuously, and then one becomes seer, the other becomes a seen object, and the process also becomes within the process. The process itself is seer, seen, and seeing. The action. Everything is within that imbalanced state. The seer also is there. The seen object also is there. And the seeing action also is in the process. So, the sound becomes the form and the form becomes the name. Name means the sound. Form also is formed by the sound. When two, see how the process goes on. If two waves dash against each other, some bubbles are created. When bubbles burst, there will be some foam, and that foam dries up, and they get together, they get a solid form. How the imbalanced state has taken a form, solid form. Understood now? The waves, they are imbalanced state of the water, and they dash against each other, and some bubbles are formed. Then bubbles dry up, blast, and they turn into some foam, and that foam dries up, and it takes a form of solid, some name. It is solidified. Water solidified. In this way, the whole system, from other angle of vision, the subtleness takes the form of grossness. This is how the objects are objected or formed. The same sky has become the earth in this way. Billions of years it takes to solidify. But these billions of years or eras, they are a moment in the absolute truth. Why it is a moment? Because time is a relative term. There is no time there. So, if you say in the term of time, we can say a moment.
Swamiji, there are moments in which the wave is falling towards the ocean floor, but none of the waves are crashing with each other. maybe a little bit, but not too much. It's a very nice feeling.
Let them not clash against each other. They will clash within itself. Clash means changing. Isn't it? When friction takes place, what do you mean? Two objects
Rub against each other.
crossing against each other. And that can happen in one also,
Yeah.
within itself.
You need a little friction to enjoy it.
You see, two hands are in me or outside me. Train and track. In this way, the heat is ever present everywhere. The water also ever present everywhere. Just because of some changes, they have changed their names, but the originality is one. The same water has taken the form of bubble. Water is there. To show that, I have brought some examples. We are coming to it. Now, this sound, when it goes on changing, it takes different names and they get together, different waves of sound get together, and just as in chemistry, two atoms get together. They don't enter into each other. They get together by some attraction and they form anything. As per our organic chemistry, we see in the laboratory 2 atoms, 3 atoms, 4 atoms, they get together to form some object. Atoms are the basic elements. So this way, the same sound waves, they form different objects and they form different names also. The same sound is in name, same sound is form also. And basically they are changing phenomena of waves, wavy system, nothing else. Now, every atom, when they get associated with each other, means they come close and they form, they get attached to each other. This attachment or getting together or formation, same meaning. So, they form different objects by different composition. This is known as Panchikaran in our philosophy. The 5 elements, they get together to form different names and forms in different residues, multiple, innumerable residues, and they form names and forms. And they are also ever changing. Nothing is outside the changing phenomena. And that changing phenomena also in the unchanging base. The unchanging base is truth. Changing phenomena on it, in it, with it, without it, any way you say, it cannot be other than it. It is within it. And in this way, the sound, when it becomes a name, the name gets associated with the form, temporarily known as form, which was sound in the beginning. Now it has been named as a form, and that sound, it gets associated with this form, then it is known as a name. I was explaining to our Satish in the morning. See, I told some boy, go to the kitchen and bring me some flour, wheat flour. Okay? He heard this sound. He heard some vibrations created by my mouth, and those vibrations reached his ear, and it created some other vibrations in the ear screen, and that screen again created it, passed on. It created some other vibrations in the nerve system. It reached its brain, and again it came back with a meaning that floor is so and so. So his eyes, ears, and legs, and hands, and everything got together. The body goes to the kitchen, and mind is with it. And the eyes see some object, and that sound, vibrations, they are associated with that particular object, and then it is known as floor. Or else the object was not floor. Yes.
I wanted to ask a question. Say, for instance, you didn't say to the boy, grab me some wheat flour, but he saw the flour. In Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, he said, just seeing it, you say the name in your head to yourself. And that, is that right? Is that correct?
Yes. See, I mean to say it is everywhere in different language said, the association, getting together. And association of what? Now I explain basic principles. The same vibrations which has been accumulated and known as sound, same vibrations, they are together, they are piled up, composed, and they are known as some object form. And they both they get associated, and some mediators are there. Say eyes or ears or the brain or mind, intellect, your prana, everything together. They are the mediators. They join each other. They help joining each other. That is called association. And that's how our gross philosophy, which is known as perception theory. The mind creates the thoughts, and those thoughts, if goes out of the body through the gateway of eyes, it will be associated with some form only. It cannot be associated. Our eyes cannot hear. That means the eyes gate are only open to those vibrations of the mind which go out through this gate and get associated with the forms only. And the ear also, it is also a gateway and systematically arranged to getting out for the inner thoughts. When those thoughts they go out, they get associated with the sound only, not with the form. Sometimes that sound and form they get together. Where from this sound comes? Where is to be associated? What is the relationship? Then when they get related or get associated, then the form will have the name and that sound is related to that particular object.
Swami, there's a feeling is prior to sound even.
Pardon?
Feeling.
Feeling is just in the starting process.
Prior to sound.
Yes, of course.
Because they say name and form in all these books that we read. They should say name and form and feeling. Because what happens is they say name and form and we try to start feeling that the feeling is different.
You see, that is also so complicated. Feeling also gross and subtle. That same feeling may be the sound. Because all these are, we are considering everything on the term of vibrations, waves. So everything is wave. In that, if we understand from that terminology, then it will have no differences,
No, but the
basically.
the way our language has become,
Yes, yes.
associated name and form and feeling as
Yes,
different
yes,
things.
yes, yes. Why not? Why not? Yes.
Everything is, this sound is a wave, okay, and you give me an instruction. Why do misunderstandings occur? It should be the same. I should understand what you're telling without.
Yes, yes, yes.
Why does misunderstanding occur?
That misunderstanding also has some basic causes. Misunderstanding, your process of thoughts are processed in a particular channel. Thoughts process means the waves they are created in the chambers, minute atomic or microscopic holes of the brain cells. Vibrations are created and somewhat similar vibrations, they are created in a particular area of those cells in the brain. And if they are created again and again repeatedly, they create a channel, groove. Understood? That is called habit. Technically, habit. And that habit, due to your habit, it differs from my habit. What I express, you cannot understand because of difference between these channels drawn in your brain and in my brain. I produce some sound which has some meaning, and that you are unable to associate it with because of difference. Difference in what? Your thought process and my thought process. If they get similar, then we understand each other.
Without words.
Without voice also. Without words also we can understand. Because those vibrations are gross when it comes out of our body, outside the body. Before that, it is same in the starting point in your heart and in my heart. So, if the basic changes are somewhat similar to each other, basic changes, that means waves, which are not expressed out, they have different phases. Mostly we call in 3 phases. Those 3 phases are internal, and 4th phase is audible external. And if those phases are somewhat similar, then without speaking in language of silence, we can talk to each other. That is called telepathy. Telepathy.
You can even express ideas and objects and
Without expressing outside. We can. That is called body language.
But what I'm asking is, without talking, you can still express ideas to somebody else?
Yes.
Concrete ideas of shape?
Yes,
form?
yes. That's how the yogis understand what is going on where on the universe. Unseen by the eyes, but seen by the heart. That's how they communicate. The communicating system, when it is gross and external, we call it language or something, body language or verbal language, something. But internally, they have relationship in subtle way. That example I give always to you. If mother is there in the far off country and the child is ill here, weeping for mother, without the sound, external expression, they know each other. They know each other. The mother will feel unnecessarily unhappy. Something is going wrong. That feeling will be that. That is called feeling. Intuition we may say, or it is called feeling, relationship,
Yeah, let's call it that.
deep relationship.
Can somebody operate in the world without too much analysis, but just using feeling?
Yes, yes.
Totally
Yogis do that, and that is what I was telling. The great yogis sitting in the unseen caves of Himalayas, they do greatest service to the mankind by spreading their vibrations. Their vibrations, thought waves. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Let the whole universe be happy. If this thought is sent out with force, force means with most subtle way, that is called force. It will cover up the whole universe. It will influence the whole universe. And that's how the prayer is taken. Prayer is, on prayer the great saints give their opinion. No prayer is unheard. Prayer reaches that realm where reason cannot, your logic cannot reach there. And no prayers are unheard. It reaches the bottom. It starts from the bottom and it reaches the bottom. And it will react. It will react sooner or later. But there is reaction. So no prayer is unheard. The prayers work in that subtle region. And where does it reach? It reaches the source. because it comes out from the source. So it reaches the source, that is God. So God doesn't need any language, English or Hindi or Sanskrit. It is the language of the heart. Bhavagrahi, they say. God is Bhavagrahi. He is the receiver of your feelings, the close vibrations of your feelings that reaches the universal consciousness that is within you also. It starts there and reaches there. It takes no time. It is beyond time and conditions. It reaches then and there because it starts from the heart and reaches the heart. This is how the language of prayer. And it is, prayer is not, oh God, I am ill, please supply me some medicines. It is not called prayer. Jasya smarana matrena. The remembrance of the Absolute is the highest prayer. That is what we were discussing all through. That is the highest worship. That is the highest prayer. That is the highest communication with God. God hears you when you are silent. Silence is the language. And now, all these changes and all these complications from different angles, they make you misunderstand everything and forget everything. This is how the poor mind works. But yet that mind is all powerful. That mind itself is called the Mahamaya, the great energy. Mind has everything within it, all the energy. What speed of mind? It can reach anywhere unseen and unknown. There also it can reach. See the beauty, see the power of mind. And it is so poor, it cannot reach the Absolute because of all this changing process. It is only a changing phenomena. The same mind is known as prana, same prana and mind known as the energy or the supreme power or the world. They are all synonymous terms only, which have only one meaning. They are not different, they have no different meanings. Basically they are one and the same. But when they are seen from outside or from gross level of their acting process, then they are so confusive, so, you see, complicated, that is called misunderstanding. Due to that, now see how it changes. But yet the source, the awareness, that existence, the truth absolute is ever present, which is unconditional, irrespective of time, space and conditions. It is present everywhere, every time, in all conditions. Now, this is, if one understands this, then he reaches the home. This understanding and acceptance and becoming is your sweet home. The absolute silence. And from this example you can understand this also in different ways, maybe little more clear ways. You know what is this? This is flour. This is wheat flour. Acha. Is the wheat present here or not? The name has been changed, but the presence of wheat is there.
Yes.
You cannot say
No.
there is no wheat in it. And this is the atoms of the universe.
Wow.
See, can you count it?
Yeah, we got it.
How many atoms, how many particles of flour? And see how it is formed. The same wheat has changed its name and form in a particular changing process, and it has taken the name of flour. Its presence is never absent in the flour. And that is how it is ever present. In all the flour particles, wheat is present. The name has changed, the form has changed, and the basic existence is all the time present. Understood now?
Yes.
Now, by some changing process, it has taken different form now, form.
Yeah.
Call it as you like in any language. Understood?
Yes.
This is also wheat,
Yeah. Different form.
the same flour, composed by innumerable atoms of innumerable particles of wheat. And this is named as something. This is how the original source is changed into different forms. This is one form, okay, and this is another form. See the difference? Whether the wheat is present here or not, can you deny the presence of wheat here? If this particular object will be called in a particular name and has a particular form, which is a changing result of the wheat, can the wheat be absent here? The source is always present, everywhere, in all conditions. but the names and forms they change. Okay, now this is still more bigger form of the same. Now it is in a process to have some final or some form it will take, and of course change will go on, the changing process will change. But it has in a process. This is and this is. Okay? We call it, it is in the process of making chapati. In the process of chapati, it is going to take the name of chapati. Okay? Now, this has become a chapati. Okay? Can you say the wheat is absent here? Was the absence of wheat felt in all these processes?
No.
It is ever present in all conditions. Now this same process, it change also, the process also change. This is called chapati, this is called parota. This same is different, and process also a little differs from each other. Though basically they were same, in between they have diverted from each other.
This chapati, it's like a wave,
Yes.
And after it becomes the chapati, there's somebody who's hungry, and that wave is hungry, and it meets this wave, and for a moment those waves collapse.
Yes.
And there's balance in both.
Yes. And they also changing process never stops there.
It doesn't stop. So my question is, in our lives, we have to find people in relationships, our friends, that match us on a certain level.
Up to some extent, up to some time, up to some situations. They are not ever matching. Never. Because they are in the process. We differ from each other, but yet somewhat similarity is there. That's why we are in a family. Somewhat similarity, not 100%. Never it can be.
Like them.
Yes, they are of one family. Have chapati and parota, and still more. Two brothers. In the same family, two brothers. This is square parota, this is triangular parota. Two brothers. They are somewhat similar in one family, and there is difference. And this is round parota. Round parota. This is triangular parota. This is square parota. They belong to same family. And this is little different family, and this is neighbor. This is called puri. It is fried in oil or in ghee. This is fried where it is baked. See the differences, yet similarities. And this is how everywhere, this is chapati, puri, parota, and and flour. Everywhere the wheat is ever present. This puri, different from chapati,
Yeah.
it wants to say, I am the source, wheat. Can it say or not?
It can.
I am the wheat. I am not the puri, but I am the wheat. It has got all the right,
Yes.
and it can realize also.
Yes.
I am not the puri, but the wheat. This also can say same thing.
Yeah.
I am also the wheat. And this also can say, I am the wheat. This also can say, Aham Brahmasmi. I am the absolute truth. I am the wheat. And this also can say, I am the wheat. I am the wheat. Everybody has right. And everybody is. There is no question of it. It is the truth. The truth is all pervading. And this is how we are different from each other. And basically, our home is one. Source is one. We are human beings, we are different from animals. Same flesh and bone and blood. Forms are different, names are different, but basically that I-ness is there present everywhere. Yes?
What you just illustrated is scientifically almost true. When they did gene mapping,
Gene,
mapping,
surely.
human DNA is almost similar to 70% of cucumber DNA. 70%.
Why not?
Chimpanzees are 99.99% similar
To the
human
monkeys, their genes will be somewhat similar to, more similar to the monkeys. And this is how our Indian process says this changing phenomena, the incarnations of the absolute God. The first incarnation was the fish. In scientific language, modern scientific language, we say the life starts from the water, jellyfish. And we say mean avatar, Matsya avatar. God takes the incarnation of fish. And God is sleeping in the water. Sleeping means it is all pervading in water, the essential life principle in the water. That is called sleeping, hidden. Lord Vishnu is sleeping in the water. Where? All over the water. Everywhere that life principle is there. And when it is changed in a particular way and gets accumulated in a particular way, then it is called fish or jellyfish or many other forms, the amoebas, hydras, and so many other aquatic forms and living beings in the water, and slowly those aquatic beings, they, when the water in different way gets solidified and called the earth, they start also because earth has got relationship with water. So the aquatic animals, they start coming to having relationship with earthly beings. First the fish, jellyfish, and then the God takes the incarnation of tortoise. It can remain in water, it can remain in earth also, both way. Our vision, how the evolution process. Yes, Matsya avatar, and then it is called Kurma avatar, the tortoise. And then it takes the form of boar, the pig. Pig. It likes the water and muddy substances, but it remains on the earth. Both way. It likes watery, muddy circumstances, situations, but it remains on the earth. Slowly, how the process goes on changing and taking different forms. And mentally also, physically also, in composition, in habits, everything changes. It takes millions of years to take all these shapes and sizes.
Swamiji, like how Sahara now is a desert, once upon a time it was green.
Yes. And now the pig again develops in the process of evolution. It takes the form of half animal, half man, human being. The nursing avatar, half animal, half human being. Yes. Then takes the form of Brahman, dwarf, human being, but in dwarf form. Formation is haphazard. Mentally also, physically also. Yes. And then comes the incarnation of Parsuram. Parsuram, full of anger, full of dominating habit, and all these Rajasic temperaments, but yet human being, fully blown human being. And then the incarnation of Ram, the limit of all laws and order and codes of conduct, everything is fully blown and made. That form is called Rama, which follows all the natural rules and regulations up to the highest extent. And yet, it is a fully blown form, complete form.
That's our power.
Yes. And then comes Lord Krishna, mentally perfect, heartily perfect, physically perfect, and in every way it is perfectly perfect. And though it breaks all the rules, yet it follows all the rules. who is the knower of the secrets of rules and regulations. This universal being. This is how evolution process. This is from the angle of Indian philosophical view. Darshan. Darshan means vision. How we see. And the same thing is explained by modern scientific language. Never mind. Use any language you like, but the same process is the same. The subject is the same. Whether you call it aqua, or water, or pani, or neer, it is all the same. All the same. So the final purpose of life and the goal of life, now you can understand. What is the purpose of life and how to achieve it? Everything explained. This says, Shivoham, Shivoham, I am the absolute truth. That means this particular form says, I am the wheat, I am the wheat. This also says, I am the wheat, I am the wheat. This also says, I am the wheat, I am the wheat. But it has forgotten. One has to come and remind him. Who will come? For this can come. Oh my dear, before taking this step, you were like me.
Correct.
So one who is nearer to the truth, nearer to the source, he can remind the other beings who are away from the source. They are called gurus, the guides, the great eye-openers who remind you your source.
Swami, we should try as much as possible to spend physical time with such people, and if circumstances allow us to be close to them for as long as possible.
That is called satsang. And that is a must. From there starts your spiritual life. Back to the pavilion. That is called spiritual life. Going back to the home. And that's how I say, spirituality is not abnormality, but spirituality is normality. Normality is called spirituality. Abnormality,
It's called worldliness.
worldliness, all these abnormalities. This is called normality.
Yes.
This is called spirituality. Going back nearer to the process back to your source, going back home. This is the purpose of life, and this is the end of life. This is the end of evolution. And then, for that particular item, that particular identity, there is no world. There is no world, no process, because process has ended here. So in this way, innumerable universes are ever present in a part and parcel of the truth. On this small particle of floor, It contains so many chapatis, puris, and parotas, and what not. What not is seen here. समोसा, मटकी, and और क्या कहते हैं वो पानी पूरी, क्या नहीं हो सकता है. हाँ, bread also. Anything you imagine, you can give a shape.
नॉर्मली भिक्षा में आटा ही दिया जाता
आटा ही दिया जाता है.
है पूरी या ये सब तो रेयर ऑफ है.
नहीं, दो किस्म का भिक्षा होता है, बनी बनाए, उसके बाद हमको और कुछ करना जरूरत नहीं, एंड ऑफ दी प्रोसेस. महात्मा लोग वो पूड़ी मांगते हैं, जो बनी बनाए भोजन, उसको माधुकरी कहते हैं, और उसमें कोई प्रपंच नहीं होता है, क्योंकि आटा लेने से फिर इसको बदलना है, इसीलिए वो प्रपंच में नहीं जाते हैं. So this is how the world is. You are there in the world, and your spiritual life, your worldly life, your day-to-day relative transactions, and your busyness, your restlessness, and your tranquility, your meditation, your spiritual practice, everything you can understand where do you stand and where to go.
Where do you stand?
Where do you stand and where to go. This is end of our class. Today for today. Your journey is completed. Now don't forget this example. This is so simple example. So simple. The truth is never complicated. We have made it complicated. This is also truth. We have made it complicated. So, for today this much, and this is how we can go into the depth of the meaning of internal worship. Internal worship. Thank you all. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Sabda Brahma ki jai. Saraswati Maharani ki jai. Yoga Vasudha Bhagavan ki jai. Hari Om.